It all started just about a year ago with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Winnie the Pooh is a character that went into public domain, and at the first chance, these people decided to make a horror movie. And was that horror movie good? No, it was not. I don't hate it, but I can still say it's a bad movie. It's not a well done movie, but now, in just a few short days, next week, I believe, yes, next week, a week from tomorrow, I think, it's like the 26th, we are getting in theaters the sequel, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2. That's right. Have you seen the trailer? I bet you have. If you're watching this video, you probably saw the trailer. If you have, then you should also check out my trailer breakdown because I did that as well. But this movie has an upgraded budget. So hopefully, just based on the trailer, it looks better quality than the first movie. We'll see if the story and characters and all that is better done. We'll see on that. But hey, at least it's looking better quality. But we know, and we've known for a while, that Winnie the Pooh is not the only part of this franchise, because this was just the beginning of a brand new universe of childhood stories being turned into horror films, because we're getting a whole cinematic universe here, people. In case you didn't know, we are also getting Pinocchio unstrung. I believe we're getting a post-credit scene in Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2, and it's going to feature our first full look at Pinocchio unstrung. This is official concept art for the film, which, great design. I'm liking that so far. I'm really interested to see what's next from that. I don't know if they've filmed this yet, but what I do know is we're also getting Peter Pan. Peter Pan is coming as well. Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. Yep, that's happening, and this is our official concept art first look at that character. Very disfigured, more gremlin, goblin-looking version of Peter Pan, which I think is an interesting idea. This actually looks like it has potential. And finally, we are also getting Bambi the Reckoning, which this one started shooting a while ago. I think is probably done filming at this point. But yeah, so we are getting this whole cinematic universe. And the Twisted Childhood universe from Jagged Edge Productions. It's real. This is a thing. And not only are all of these films happening, but just as promised, the whole reason this is a cinematic universe is to do a build-up to an Avengers-style team-up with the POOHNIVERSE. Monsters Assemble 2025, people. That's right, before we get Avengers 5, a new Avengers movie since Avengers Endgame, before we get that, before the DCU probably gives us anything. We don't know when in 2025 this is coming out. This might come out before Superman, but it's definitely coming out before we get a Justice League in the DCU. We're getting the POOHNIVERSE, which, you can see just by this logo that it's the Avengers logo. Like, that's what it's supposed to emulate. And that's one of the things I hope for with Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2, along with these other films, is that they kind of lean into that, how ridiculous this idea is. Because that was one of the things I didn't really care for in the first Winnie the Pooh movie, is just that it took itself way too seriously, because it was just so ridiculous, but everyone in the movie was just taking themselves so seriously. So I'm hoping there's more of, obviously horrible, disgusting carnage is going to be on display here, but I'm hoping there's at least a good amount of kind of just not taking themselves seriously here. That's what I'm hoping for. And the thing with the POOHNIVERSE is it's not only going to assemble all of these characters from these separate films, it's also going to introduce some new ones as well. Bambi, Tinkerbell, Pinocchio, Peter Pan, Tigger, Piglet, the Mad Hatter, and Sleeping Beauty will all unite in a horror team-up movie, POOHNIVERSE, Monsters Assemble, in theaters next year. So we have an official poster here, people. Crazy that we already have a poster for this when we don't have a poster or trailer for Bambi or Peter Pan or Pinocchio or anything like that, or even before Winnie the Pooh 2 comes out. But let's talk about this poster right here. So obviously we already talked about the logo. Right front and center, we have Winnie the Pooh riding Bambi. So our first official look at Bambi, which I will say looks disgusting, but disgustingly awesome. It's like a zombie version of Bambi. We don't really know any of the plot details of that film, but I mean, this is a great first look. And also, I love how Winnie the Pooh is wielding a bear trap. Just think of the puns that could be made right there. Winnie the Pooh, Pooh Bear with a bear trap. Like, that's hilarious. We come down to the bottom right here. So we got Piglet, of course, returning from the Winnie the Pooh movies. I don't know who that is in the bottom right corner, but whoever it is looks disgusting and terrifying. Right above that, we have Pinocchio, also disgusting. I think definitely one of the better designs of this cinematic universe. Up here, we have... that looks like a rabbit. My question is that rabbit from the Winnie the Pooh universe? Are we going to see him debut in Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 and that just hasn't been revealed yet? Is that going to be a surprise, or is he just going to be introduced here? And then the other possibility is we also have the Mad Hatter here. Could it be the rabbit from the Mad Hatter and Alice in Wonderland storyline, or something separate? But we also have Owl from Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 as well. We have... over here in the top left corner, we have Peter Pan. Very unrecognizable, but yes, that is Peter Pan and his design for this universe. We have the Mad Hatter, which I love this design. This is a terrifying, very spooky design for the Mad Hatter, but he looks great. We have Tigger, of course, as well. That, I think, is Alice from Alice in Wonderland. And we also have, I think, Sleeping Beauty. I'm really interested to see how you do a horror take on Sleeping Beauty. Is it like her sleeping is she's dead, and then when she's alive it's like, oh, she's awake, she's undead, she's a zombie? I don't know, but interesting potential spoilers, I guess, for these films. But you have some gravestones here on display. One says Wendy, so that could be a hint at the plot for Peter Pan Neverland Nightmares. But also, this one, I believe, says Christopher. So is this a spoiler that in Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey Part 2 that Christopher Robin, with our new recast actor, is going to die? It's possible. I think that's pretty likely. And then this one over here, I don't know what it says. Does that say Yana, Zana, Nana? I can't even tell. But anyway, that is our poster for POOHNIVERSE, Monsters Assemble. And that's another thing I'm interested about is, what is this movie going to be? Are we going to have human characters in here that all of these monsters are assembling to attack and to murder? Or are these monster characters going to be fighting each other? I mean, you can see Bambi and Winnie the Pooh are teaming up. But that's interesting. Like, it's kind of like a Freddy versus Jason approach, but with, I guess, more of an Avengers level with the amount of characters that you've got going on here. And this is going to be the conclusion to, well, I guess that's not officially confirmed, but from the official timeline that has been released and the official slate that's been released by Jagged Edge Productions, it looks like this is going to be the conclusion. So we could see our characters die here. Winnie the Pooh could be murdered. He could die at the hands of Peter Pan or Pinocchio, for all we know. But yes, they have released an official slate. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey Part 2, Bambi, The Reckoning is going to be our next film, supposedly. Then Peter Pan, Neverland Nightmares, and Pinocchio Unstrung, and finally POOHNIVERSE, Monsters Assemble. Another thing I'm interested in is, because with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey Part 2, it was just announced like a month ago, the official release date, and it comes out next week. So I feel like a lot of these films, especially since POOHNIVERSE comes out next year. Most of these films, Bambi is probably coming out this year. Peter Pan may also come out this year as well. Pinocchio may be early next year, and then POOHNIVERSE whenever that ends up happening. But I'm really interested because it seems like these are coming a lot sooner than we thought. I mean, the fact that this is even a thing is crazy, but it's also kind of even crazier that like it's all going to be over in a year. But is that for the good? Is that for the good of our universe that it be over? I don't know. But yeah, this is a thing. POOHNIVERSE. It's such a ridiculous name, but I love it. POOHNIVERSE is happening, coming to theaters 2025. I'm really hoping that I can find a theater near me that's actually playing these movies, because I will so go see these and do a review on the channel. This is fantastic. But anyways, guys, I guess let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this official news of the Twisted Childhood universe? I am kind of confused also, like, why is it not just called the POOHNIVERSE? Like, if you're going to call the movie the POOHNIVERSE, why do you have to have a separate name for the actual universe title? I don't know, whatever. But are you excited for the Twisted Childhood universe, and more specifically, POOHNIVERSE come to theaters next year? Do you have any theories on other childhood twisted characters that are going to show up, or do you think we'll get more movies past the POOHNIVERSE? What other characters do you think they'll adapt? I mean, they could bring in Steamboat Willie now. I would not at all be surprised. But anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I keep up to date on everything that goes on in the movie life.